If you've been a part of my channel for any amount of time, you know I'm a Fredhead.
Hello, sinners. It is I, Father Evil, and I invite you to Destination Station on YouTube.
Bagels and go to Destination Station. This buddy is the bomb. Love him.
Yep.
Fucking A.
Yep.
I had to say that for a reason.
Freddie, take that, motherfucker.
All right. Okay. Fuck you.
Jamie Kennedy. Subscribe to my man, Destination Station right now if you want the best content.
What's up? Welcome to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. Thank you for clicking on this video. Subscribe to Destination Station if you want Scream, Halloween, and everything in between. And follow me on all my socials. All the links are down in the description below. And stay tuned. Subscribe for Scream Talk, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on every Friday night. So yeah, be a part of the conversation. But today there is this new documentary. It's new to me. I caught it on Tubi. Somebody brought to my attention that it was on Tubi, and I've been waiting to see this. Some people have seen it, months ago, but I finally had the opportunity to see it recently, and I really wanted to talk about this. It's called Fredheads, the documentary. If you've been subscribed to my channel for any amount of time, you know how important the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is to me. I hold it near and dear to my heart. Also, the actor Robert Englund, who portrays Freddy Krueger, which is the GOAT of horror in my opinion. I think he's the rock star of horror. And you know what, all the conventions that I've been a part of, I actually had the pleasure of spending like 4 hours with Robert Englund one night at the hotel bar and had a bunch of drinks with them, and we hung out like we were like best friends, like hanging out on each other, like arm over me. It was just like me and him in our own little world, and he just gave me so much advice, so much dad advice. I even told him that, and yeah, I think a lot of the guy, and he's a really good soul, and he really does take his time and get to know his fans. He really cares about his co-stars that he works with. And if you've seen Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the documentary that came out not too long ago, check it out, because it goes a deep dive into the man himself and his career from an early age to now. And it shows you how much care he puts into everybody he encounters with. He always leaves a little piece of himself with each person, even though how weird that sounds. But this documentary, Fredheads, the documentary, is something very unique and very special, and this is pretty much fans making a documentary about all the Fredheads that go to these conventions and talking about their entry into horror, and how much the franchise means to them, and how they've been reconnected or connected to other people in this community, and found best friends, found relationships, found their community pretty much. And that's what this entire documentary is about, is just how special the franchise and the Fredheads have came together and share a familial bond. And I'm right there with you. I wish I could have been a part of this documentary. I have a lot of insight on the franchise. It means a lot to me. I even shared it with Robert the night we hung out that when I was 5 years old, that was my entry into horror, was watching A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. And say what you want about A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, it still is nostalgic for me, and it was my entry into horror. And she did to Robert about my entry into horror, and I also talked to Ken Segoes, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, about my entry into horror, because it's kind of funny. And if you haven't heard this story, I was 5 years old, and my older sister rented A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and I was sitting on the couch, and the scene where Kincaid pushes the car on top of Freddy and is like, take that, motherfucker. Well, I repeated that, like I was just like cheering it on the couch, and my parents came in there and was like, hey, you know, and like turned it off, and kind of got on to me, you know, didn't really spank me or anything like that. Ken made a joke and was like, oh, you blaming me for your ass whooping? So yeah, I had a lot of conversation with Ken as well. He's also helped promote this channel a little bit, so I really appreciate him. One of the best characters in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, in my opinion. And Robert's such a good soul, and he cares about all his co-stars, and he definitely cares about his fans. He's not somebody that you just go through his line and you get 2 minutes of his time or 30 seconds like some celebrities. He takes his time. He gets to know you. He will talk to you as long as you will talk to him. He doesn't rush you off or anything like that. So it just shows that how much of a good soul that Robert Englund is, of showing that he really does care, and he loves the horror genre, and he knows what it means to us fans and how it's brought all of us together. And that's something very special, because you can meet your heroes. You know, what's that saying that, you know, don't ever try to meet your heroes or whatever? Like, I felt like I met mine when I met Robert Englund, and it was the best experience ever. I wasn't thinking that I was going to be able to meet Robert because his line was so long at Texas Frightmare. And it was being capped off. People were sleeping overnight in his line and still not being able to see him. So I just, like, you know, threw in the towel and said, all right, I guess I'm not going to be able to meet him. It was Sunday evening, and me and a buddy was hanging out with Lance Henriksen at a table, and what do you know? Robert Englund comes and says, can I pull up a chair next to you? And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, because I have said this before on my channel, but if you're just now coming across my channel for this review, I just want to put this out here again. Because this is exactly what this documentary is all about, is their experiences with Robert and the franchise, and so I'm just sharing mine with you. And so when he pulled up his chair, I kind of got, you know, a little giddy, and so like he sat down. We had some white wine, some champagne. That's one thing I know about Robert, is he loves white wine, he loves champagne. So we just popped bottles for like 4 hours that night and got really tipsy. I got to experience Drunk Freddy a little bit. It was really cool. But just the stories that he shared to me, and how much he cared about me and asked me questions, and I asked him questions, and it was like we were best pals. It was like we've known each other our whole lives or something. And I don't know if other people have that same exact experience with him, but it did feel special in the moment. And I hope that Robert, you know, it felt special to him as well, because we shared so many things from our past. He was the one that was kind of like lit the fire under me to like do something and move to an area that things are happening. And so that's one reason why I've taken certain steps in my life. But yeah, it was such a great night, and it's one that I'll never forget. And yeah, Freddy was my Batman. So but this documentary, Fredheads, is so good. It goes through so many different fans, and you know, it almost makes you tear up hearing some of the stories of just like some of the people's experiences through life are so much similar to mine. And for me to see somebody that I can relate to, this community brings these people together, and we found a new friendship. We found this community, and it's very great. And these people that you meet at these conventions, if you've never been to a convention, do yourself a favor and go, because I have gained so many good friends that I talk to on a daily basis from these conventions. And I don't take it for granted one day at all. And I never thought in a million years that I would be in this position to where I've actually got to meet Robert Englund. And I have a channel here that's all about horror, Scream, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. If you've been subscribed to my channel, you know that I'm a big Wes Craven fan, and I talked to Robert about Wes Craven. There's just so many stories that I don't have enough time on this video to really dive deep into. Maybe I'll dive deep into it into another video or on a live stream. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Fredheads, and if you're anything like me, and if you're a big fan of A Nightmare on Elm Street, or if you went to these conventions and you wish you was able to see Robert Englund or anything, you know, this might give you some insight on what to expect when going, you know. So yeah, check it out. It's on Tubi. It's free. It's really good. The crew behind this has done a phenomenal job. So yeah, congratulations to y'all. Y'all are awesome. If y'all ever do a documentary or something like that, Fredheads 2 or whatever you do in the future, I would love to be a part of it in case you just, you know, come across this video. But yeah, if there is a physical release of this, please send me a link or something, because I would definitely buy this and put it in my collection. So yeah, to all the Fredheads out there, you need to check this out ASAP. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Just kind of throw this out here in case you didn't know it wasn't on Tubi, or if you're interested in seeing it, just go check it out, because it really is something special. And I love these documentaries about horror movies, and we got like a double whammy here with Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, and now Fredheads. So yeah, I feel pretty fulfilled for a little bit, but I definitely want more. So yeah, so subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna quit talking about it so much and babbling, but subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and smash that bell notification so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. And my name's Destin, and I'm definitely a Fredhead. I'll see you later, or I'll see you on another time. Peace out.
I'll be right back.